Hey everybody, welcome back to Video Game Mess. So, checking out some very fun news for everyone today, and news that you guys have been talking about, at least when I asked the question, what's the one game you'd love to see get a static recomp or a PC source port? More often than not, one of the answers to that question, one of the most common ones, is Crash Team Racing on PlayStation 1. Well, today you can play a work-in-progress PC port of Crash Team Racing based upon the decompilation project, and honestly, even if it's not finished, it's already highly impressive. And because you guys love these recomps and PC ports, that's what we're going to be talking about today. And honestly, it's going to keep heating up in 2026. There's more in the works, something we've talked about and previewed on the channel, and others that you don't know about quite yet. But trust me, the back half of this year is absolutely going to be amazing. And now that we're past the summer solstice, June 21st, I feel like we're going to be getting even more into the fall and winter. But Crash Team Racing is absolutely every bit as good as Mario Kart ever was, and getting a native PC port, even if it is still work in progress, is just 10 out of 10 straight up amazing. Because back in the day, I absolutely loved all of the Crash Bandicoot games, and even though I did have an N64 and that Super Mario 64 was incredible, for me as a kid during the generation, Crash Bandicoot was the mascot. It was the game to have, and absolutely everybody loved it. When Crash Team Racing came out, I played the ever-loving hell out of it with my friends, and still to this day, I think it's one of the best kart racing games ever made. So getting a native PC port of it isn't just fun because it will run better, but also because it's going to mean a ton of mods, improvements, and other fun features in the future if the fan development community wants to rally around it. Before getting much further involved though, to be a huge favor down below, hit like and subscribe and ring that notification bell, definitely helps us out. And if you feel so inclined, want to support the channel, I got a Patreon link down below as well. But I always love to ask that question, what's the one game you would love to see get ported over to PC if you could just snap your fingers and make it appear? And I always loved that Crash Team Racing was one of the most often requested titles. I would love to see a world in which we had stuff like rollback netcode for races against friends online, a ton of new tracks and everything else. Because if you think about all of the Mario Kart mods out there, mods that basically create entirely new games and sets of courses out of the actual stock game, I want to see the exact same thing happen for Crash Team Racing because it 100% deserves that. But you leave me a comment down below and you tell me, if there was one mod that could just basically appear for this right now, which one would it be for you personally? I think for me it would just be that online support so I could play with some friends that don't live in the city of Chicago. Now right now this is still in playtesting, so don't expect a ton of amazing enhancements currently because it is still just trying to make sure that the game runs exactly as expected, has the same behaviors as a PlayStation 1 copy of the game, and basically is an identical one-to-one version, just with better performance. Then from there, hopefully we see stuff like 16:9 support, increased graphics, maybe even texture packs if they do exist out there. But I've never actually seen a texture pack for Crash Team Racing, so if one exists, leave me a comment down below and you let me know because I would be curious. But again, there's going to be so many opportunities to mod the ever-living hell out of Crash Team Racing in the future, and that definitely is the future I want to live in, because we're going to be seeing more PlayStation 1 decomps, recomps, and PC source ports as we go on. There are a bunch in active decompilation status development, probably the biggest one being Castlevania Symphony of the Night, and I can't wait for the world in which we live in where we have a moddable Symphony of the Night on PC based upon the PlayStation 1 version with the Saturn enhancements brought in as well. That's just going to be absolutely amazing, and that really is something. It might not happen soon, but it is in the works. But Crash Team Racing right now, I would say, in my time with it, and big thanks to Anime Phoenix for helping me capture some footage overnight as well, feels exactly like it should. But a word of advice, if you do want to play this one, the link is in the description below to the GitHub page, and it gives you directions on exactly what files you need off your legally owned Crash Team Racing disk. But what I found out, and Anime Phoenix kind of filled me in when he had it work the first time versus me fighting with it, is depending on what software you use to actually get the files out of the bin, it is case sensitive, and some applications are going to not respect that case sensitivity when you actually export them from the bin file, and then the actual PC port will not read them, so pay attention to the case sensitivity and you should be fine. But that is something that definitely tripped me up. Let's do our first soundtrack sample because the game has incredible music. We'll see how it sounds on PC, and I'll be right back with more. I mean, that sounds exactly like Crash Team Racing to me, but you leave me a comment down below and you tell me what you think, because as I always love to say on videos, I have two tin ears. What that really means is I am not very good at actually noticing discrepancies when audio is slightly off. On the most recent Silent Hill PC port video I did, a few people noticed that some of the sound effects were coming out at the wrong pitch. Pitch is something that my ears just don't hear. I am definitely a very visual person because that's the medium I've worked in for the last 22 years. So oftentimes, more so than not, I miss slight deviations or discrepancies in audio quality or audio playback, and you guys always notice them. And honestly, I do depend on you to pick up on these things when I do miss them, because trust me, you go kind of blind to figuring out exactly what is going on when you look at maybe 20 games a week. But the one thing that you can't see in the video that I have to explain to you is obviously the visuals here look like Crash Team Racing. At least in my opinion, the audio sounds like Crash Team Racing, but the controls and lack of latency absolutely feel like Crash Team Racing, and that is the most important thing. If the game does not feel accurate to its source material, especially in something like a racing game where you're drifting and have to control the vehicles well, then you're really not going to have all that much fun with it. Because honestly, I'd rather have audio glitches or video glitches than bad controls or latency in any of these source PC ports. But the good news is here on Crash Team Racing, it feels exactly like I remember it. And I just recently, maybe a year or so ago, captured some of the footage, and maybe 3 or so months ago when I was reviewing the Mr. Multi-System 2 FPJ console that came in, I don't think that Crash Team Racing footage ended up making it in the video. I think I cut it for something different. But point being is, I play this game maybe at least once a year, and everything here in the Crash Team Racing Redux PC port feels exactly like it should. And again, that is number one, far and away the most important thing. We want better performance, we want better visuals, we want higher frame rates, but at the end of the day, we want a game that has the one-to-one feel of the actual PlayStation 1 original, because it lives or dies based upon its gameplay, nothing more and nothing less. So this is a very good takeaway, at least off this version of the game. But don't forget, this is still in active development, so it's one of those things that maybe the next version will actually have some regressions, because these are just playtest releases you can get in on now. And if you do notice any bugs, glitches, or issues, you can go over to GitHub and open up an issue ticket. Just remember, if I said you, be polite and nice, that way it doesn't come off the wrong way, and you can actually help the team figure out exactly what might not be working perfectly, because that is a big thing about all of these projects. You can go blind to actually seeing issues in front of you, but when you release them to a wider audience, suddenly you realize you missed 10, 15, 20 things that they picked up basically within the first 24 hours. So if you do notice an issue, definitely submit that issue ticket. Don't just think to yourself, oh, I noticed that, because you will be helping the development team if you find problems that they haven't seen yet. And honestly, I just want a perfect Crash Team Racing on PC with a ton of quality of life improvements and every other bonus benefit around the edges. And I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure that Bandicoot right there, no, not the one you're looking at, obviously, is just Farrah Fawcett designed as a Bandicoot. At least that's what I've always seen. Let's go into the second soundtrack sample so you can hear a little bit more of the audio quality, and I'll be right back with a bit more. So let's go down the actual checklist to see how the Crash Team Racing PC port is doing right now. As far as the visuals are concerned, it looks exactly like it should. I didn't notice any visual glitches in the capture. I didn't really notice any when I was playing as well. It's one of those things, if you see a little bit of graphical weirdness, it could 100% just be the PlayStation 1 graphics. Because don't forget, this is based upon a PlayStation 1 decompilation, and until enhancements are put in, you're going to get a one-to-one look. As far as the audio is concerned, I didn't really hear anything, to my ear at least, that made me think that it wasn't accurately replicating what you would get out of PlayStation 1 audio hardware, even if you're playing the audio through a PC. And as far as the controls are concerned, everything felt absolutely rock solid stable, no issues in controlling the game or anything else whatsoever. So I would say this is shaping up extremely nicely, and hopefully we get more improvements and even more mods and quality of life features in the future. But again, remember, if you do want to play this one and you get the files off the Crash Team Racing disk, you have to respect the case sensitivity, or else the actual PC executable will not find the files. So if you double click it, you see a command line window pop up for like 2 seconds and it closes out. You have to change the case sensitivity of the files to what the GitHub repo tells you to have them as. It tripped me up, and I'm sure it'll trip you up too. but definitely go check out the Crash Team Racing PC port. It is absolutely fun and is only going to get better. I know it's one that a lot of people wanted. I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.